Tonight, shocking body camera video released from the state. An attempted arrest quickly turning into a deadly shooting. Officers killing the suspect and their canine killed in the crossfire. We've got the details straight ahead.
And teens are caught stealing a car with the help of police technology and a dutiful canine. A report tonight from Southington.
The back and forth battle continuing across the country. Which states will have Donald Trump on their presidential ballot? The latest update from Connecticut tonight about whether or not you'll be able to vote Trump in the fast approaching primary.
Plus, we're looking at big local impact from telethon fundraisers to school surprises and fun for seniors. We're reflecting on some of the bright spots of 2023 across all our communities.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Carmen Chow.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The Office of Inspector General is releasing the body cam footage today of the officer-involved shooting in Pawcatuck.
That took the life of both the suspect and canine Bracco last Thursday during an attempted arrest.
Bracco and his handler were assigned to Troop A in Southbury, but most recently they were assigned to the State Police Canine Unit.
Now, we do want to warn you what you are about to see and hear can be disturbing. Last Thursday around 7:30 in the evening, the Connecticut State Police Violent Task Force, along with multiple agencies, were attempting to execute an arrest warrant for 42-year-old Vaughn Malloy on Mechanic Street in Pawcatuck.
This is the Connecticut State Police with a warrant. Step away from the front door.
The arrest warrant issued on June of last year was for a first-degree assault charge after Malloy allegedly fired his gun into the front of a home in April, striking a woman. Since then, the gun Malloy used has not been found by police. When the warrant was being served last Thursday, police gave numerous verbal commands for Malloy to come out of his home.
On Malloy, come to the front door, your hands up and nothing in your hands.
With no response from Malloy, officers decided to break down his front door. That is when Malloy was seen with the gun leaving behind a back door, and officers were telling him to stop.
Left side, he's running! He's running! 40 up!
As Malloy kept running, canine Bracco was released to apprehend him.
Put your hands up!
Malloy fell to the ground and fired shots at canine Bracco. You then see Bracco on the ground crying. Officers then fired multiple shots at Malloy, who was later pronounced dead.
Gun to the right side, by his hip.
The following Friday morning, state police announced canine Bracco died in the line of duty, protecting his handler, his community, and his fellow troopers. Later in the afternoon, a procession was held for canine Bracco at Piper Veterinary Hospital in Middletown, where law enforcement members from across the state showed up for support. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner determined Malloy was shot in the torso and other parts of his body. His manner of death has been ruled a homicide. To Southington now, where police stopped a stolen car over the weekend as it headed into town using technology and tactics.
Now 2 juveniles and 2 18-year-olds are facing charges. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc is at the Southington Police Department with more of those details. Julia.
With technology, manpower from other departments, and especially with the help of their canine tank, Southington police officers were able to stop the 4 suspects before potentially committing another crime.
I'm constantly on the lookout.
No matter what you drive these days, people like Jennifer Hibbs are alert at all times, searching for thieves stealing cars.
I feel like it's ramping up. I feel like it's happening more and more, and it's really scary.
It happened here in Southington on Sunday when police tracked a stolen Kia Forte heading into town on Meriden Waterbury Road through something called a flock LPR system.
Once we get a hit on our flock system, we typically broadcast it immediately, and our officers get them as well in the cruisers.
Lieutenant Keith Egan says they found the car near Main Street and Meriden Ave when the suspects picked up speed and drove away.
At that point, they had deployed stop sticks on the vehicle, successfully puncturing the tires.
Eventually, investigators caught up with the suspects on Route 10 in Cheshire, where police found the car abandoned with all 4 doors open and the ignition taken out of the car.
Typically, the vehicles that are stolen are the ones that have the keys in them. or they're able to be tampered with, like the Kias and the Hyundais.
And those cars, Lieutenant Egan says, are usually used to commit other crimes. But in this case, police stopped that from happening with help from other departments and Southington's K-9 tank. They found and arrested two 18-year-olds. Ronald McCauley Jr. of New Haven and Andre Lorenzo Woods of Hamden, who told police about two more juvenile suspects. Hours later, police found them hiding in a tree and arrested them too.
So we can not only recover a stolen car, we can prevent crime, and that's the ultimate goal here, right, is to deter them from committing crimes.
So for those looking to do the same, Lieutenant Egan has a message.
If you're coming into town with a stolen car, we know you're here and we're going to be looking for you. So don't come to Southington.
I'm so excited to be part of this town that has it, that catches it like that. So it makes me feel so much better.
Now, the two adult males were arraigned yesterday while the two juveniles are still waiting for their day in court. Now, all four of them are facing a handful of charges, if not more, each. We are in Southington. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Julia. Now time for a look at the forecast.
Meteorologist Ryan Breton joining us. Ryan, how much rain are we getting tonight?
Looking like about an inch to an inch and a half in many spots, guys. The good news about the rain is we'll get a little wind, and it will finally kick out this fog that we've been in the last few days. Bill in Rocky Hill today said it was a good opportunity for some unique pictures, though. He's absolutely right. We've been just shrouded in this fog and low cloud cover. The good news is tonight it's not quite as thick. Visibility is running at their lowest about 2 to 3 miles, which is certainly a lot more manageable than what we've had the last few nights. There is some rain out there this evening, steadiest in eastern Connecticut, and then some mist and drizzle elsewhere. But steadier rain down the coast will be coming up tonight, and that's what will bring us heavier rain as we get toward and after midnight. So you'll see that here by midnight or so, rain beginning to pick up in intensity, especially to the west, and then that continues through the morning commute. I do think by about noon, though, most of this rain will be moving out. So the steadiest of it will be overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Widespread 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a half of rain. We should be able to handle that amount of rain, even though the rivers are running high. If there are some places that end up with isolated higher amounts closer to 2 inches, there could be some minor flooding, but I think we'll be in better shape this time. We'll talk about when the sun returns coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Winstead fire crews and the state fire marshal are investigating a deadly fire. A man and a dog were found dead inside a home on Walnut Street around 6:30 this morning. Firefighters say broken smoke detectors could be partially to blame for the death.
At the time of arrival, I did not hear any smoke detectors, smoke alarms going off. So it's a recommendation for everyone to check their smoke detectors on a monthly basis, replace their batteries annually.
Fire investigators were at the home for several hours trying to piece together what happened, as they do not know the cause of the fire.
A man was shot dead in East Hartford last night. Police say they found him on Burnside Avenue. He died at the scene. Detectives have not identified the victim, but say they're looking for witnesses or surveillance video of the area, calling their investigation very active. A Mansfield Middle School music teacher was arrested last Thursday for allegedly threatening a 10-year-old student on a school bus. The arrest warrant from state police alleges the incident happened in November. 49-year-old Kenneth Johnson accused of telling his students he'd, quote, rip his face off if he talked back again. The student telling police he'd brought a stick on the bus and refused to throw it out the window when asked, supposedly prompting Johnson's outburst. Before the child's mother went to police, she spoke to the principal and was able to review bus camera footage. Johnson has been placed on administrative leave and is facing multiple charges now. Rocky Hill police are looking for a driver who hit an officer. Police say the officer stopped a driver on Cold Spring Road around 9:45 last night with an arrest warrant for the owner of the car. They say the suspect then quickly took off, knocking the officer to the ground as they drove away. The officer was taken to the hospital. Anyone with any information should call Rocky Hill police. We're learning new details about the woman found dead Christmas morning in Bristol. Investigators tell us they found 83-year-old Diana Jones dead inside her bedroom at her home on Morningside Drive West. The medical examiner's office confirms Jones had cuts on her neck and blunt force trauma to her torso. So far, police have not named a suspect. We're working to gather more details, and we'll share them with you as soon as we learn more. A lower court has upheld the ruling that Governor Lamont is immune in the lawsuit against his pandemic mandates. The case alleges his order in 2021 for teachers to get vaccinated or tested weekly for COVID violated their constitutional rights. So far, the lawsuit has been taken by a number of courts, but Governor Lamont has been consistently ruled immune. Several of Connecticut's emergency power mandates during the pandemic have been wrapped up in legal battles.
The Connecticut lottery is being investigated by state regulators. The Department of Consumer Protection tells us they're looking into the new retail sales system, calling it a, quote, problem-plagued rollout. The probe includes issues with mobile wagering on people's phones and technical malfunctions with the corporation's new contractor, Las Vegas-based IGT International Game Technology. Regulators say that most of the issues were during the launch of the new system.